All right, it is the next day, and I think I need to fess up to some crimes at this point, because this is such a situation that I'm like debating whether I even put this in the video, but I'm gonna show you anyways. So as you know, the whole idea was to have the skylight held into place with this frame, and the screws would grasp onto the frame and all would go well. And it's just me, and I guess I was kind of impatient and I did not wait for my friend to get back into town to help me, and I tried to do things on my own, and that was my biggest mistake, because now I have this somewhat scary carnage, and I think it looks worse than it is, but I'm not 100% sure. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to call my brother, who is a construction guy, and I'm gonna show him the whole area, and I'm gonna get his input on how f***ed this is, to be honest, and if I should continue or if I should like take it all apart and do better. Hi.
Yes, through now?
Yes. Okay, I did some really janky shit, and I need you to tell me if it's too janky. Okay, but I just want to take this off first, and then it'll give us a better idea. Okay, I have to take off this cover first, because I think it's hiding a lot of sins, and I don't want to hide sins. Okay, I drilled pilot holes into the fiberglass here, and the pilot holes, I think I chose a good size because it was quite tight, but it wasn't cracking. So these are like really screwed into here.
Did you seal them?
And I sealed the shit out of it from the outside. It is coated in Sikaflex Marine. I know, and I did that because I had to leave, and it was gonna be dewy 2 nights ago. I was acting too quickly. I was too hasty. So what I did was I went to the hardware store and I brought one of these screws, and I did not think they would have a nut. I gave them, and luckily it was a friend of mine too, so I was like, I'm doing a janky project, okay? And I just like ripped off the band, and I'm like, I know this isn't what we should be doing here, but I need to find like hopefully a nut that'll fit on the screw, and there wasn't one, obviously. And so what we came up with was some marine grade like metal epoxy, kind of like is it JB Weld or JB Weld?
JB Weld, yeah.
Yeah, so like JB Weld. This is in the bowler, like it's retained in the fiberglass, but I don't think that that's good enough. So how do you feel about if I was to Dremel just to soften these? Because there's a border that will fit in here and hide all the sins, so it won't be visible. I just want to make sure that it's like structurally sound enough. So let me show you.
Oh, all those screws, like, yeah, man. Yeah, that's good.
But like,
yeah, that's good.
So I have.
And you got Sikaflex in there?
I'm gonna Sikaflex this more because I realized that when you open this goes to the outside world, and I don't want the inside of the bowler like showing to the outside world.
Those screws that you've got poking through there, just grind them off, because you're gonna be putting trim and then the white piece, right?
No, the trim's no longer necessary because it was a functional trim, so I'm just gonna put the white piece and
just grind them off then. Go light on the inside with the Sikaflex, get that all like sealed up, you know, before you put the white thing on. But listen to me, let it dry before you put the white thing on. You don't want to glue it on like that, right?
Right. So let the Sikaflex fully cure.
You'll be tearing your bowler apart to kind of try to replace it, right?
Oh, that's logical. That's logical.
So take your Dremel, zing off the little tips, leave yourself about a 1/16 of an inch on that screw. Okay. Not that it really matters, but just like leave a little bit. You will anyway, because you're going to be careful of that elephant skin.
Yeah.
And then seal up that edge the best you can. I guess use Sikaflex, but don't make it too bulky. Like,
okay.
Just try to seal it all up.
Just be light with it.
Let it dry for however long it needs to dry.
Okay.
And then when you put how are you securing the trim on, the white trim?
Ooh, this is like another thing. It's gonna be, I have one chance to get this right, so I have to cut off all of this because this is too much, because this is a fiberglass bowler. Yeah. So how am I gonna secure it on? To be honest, because it's not gonna have a slat to go into, I'm gonna have to use adhesive. I was thinking epoxy.
No. Use something that you can take off later.
So like some simple like silicone, like bathtub silicone.
Get a shitty bathtub silicone, totally.
Yeah.
So, and don't over seal it. Give it some dabs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Give it some dabs, and then if you ever have to pull it off, you can pull it off. You don't want that to be permanent, right?
That's a good point. Oh, there's such a huge difference between the mind of somebody who builds stuff and the mind of somebody who doesn't.
You're learning.
Yes. No shit. All right. I feel better about that. So I guess I have a game plan, and I feel like I'm not destroying my buller anymore. So onwards. That's enough. Actually, I've been doing this for about an hour, and this is the progress. So I'm happy with this. I'm just going to apply the JB Weld epoxy stuff and see how it looks. Get in there. If you don't find the nuts the size you need, you can make them, I guess. It's not an ideal situation, but I think this is gonna be as sturdy as it needs to be, considering this isn't weight bearing or anything. But honestly, and I mean this when I say this, what do I know? Looking rough. Let's do something about that. So this, let's just double check. Yeah, it is nice and cured. I can be sure that this thing will be waterproof, which is really good because there's two different like double layers of waterproof protection here, and I can see with my own eyes that this thing, I mean, they did say the Titanic was not sinkable, but it has no leakable areas right now. I feel pretty good about it. It's hideous. All right, let's fix this. So I have to get this put back on first of all. Oh, there it is. Okay, that was the easy part. How to retrofit this. I'm gonna have to cut it, that much I know. Because if I install it, as you can see, this is a good angle. There's a huge gap. And it's like, it's a blessing in disguise that this didn't work out, because honestly this is headroom that somebody else might appreciate. I'm 5'9" and this touches a little bit, so extra inch never hurts. I just need to wrap my head around this a little bit. I don't even have a game plan. Alright, so I have just decided that all of this, from all the touching, could use another coat of paint. So the last thing I'm going to do is just sand this down with a nail file. Just to get these little plastic chunkies off. Alright, so I'm going to just sort of mock it up a little so that you can get the idea, and then I'll properly install it later once I paint it. Look how dirty the ceiling is now. Yeah, this will definitely be good after some paint, but this is what she's looking like, and looks pretty good. Hard to show off a finished product when it's not finished, but not too bad. And then from the outside, it sticks up a lot, but it's the price you pay to get a lot of natural light in from the roof. So I like it, honestly. Gonna call that project done for now. A fresh coat of paint on the ceiling, and then it's officially done. So thanks for hanging out with me again, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.